Hey fellow gardeners, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Brandenburg Shelter. Episode 19, Dreaming of a Green Future. The first thing I want you guys to do is to vote on the next goal. I am leaving off like the last stream. We were starting to build the second floor personal office area, but if you want me to continue that for the next half hour, 45 minutes or so, feel free to vote for that. If you want something else, you're free to pivot and change your mind. But the idea here is to extend this area out this way so that we have like a balcony and then an area for us to live in where we turn this area into like a kitchenette and then this area into storage and living area and the like, so that we have somewhere to be, which will be quite nice when trying to survive in the long term. Having a home away from home, if you will. Alright, before I work on anything, I would very much appreciate... Well, let's see. I want to do some reading. I've pretty much read all the magazines that we have available to me. I need to start choosing what next to read. I was going to read the tailoring. I'm like fairly into tailoring because the idea that I had was that I was going to start training up my tailoring now that I finally got a needle and thread. But also let's grab like mechanics, and I was also thinking, no, tailoring mechanics is fine. That will work. And Bloodmess, thank you for the cheer. So, whatever you end up voting on is what I'm going to work on. It's not to say that I necessarily have the materials for whatever said project. Ananites, thank you for the gifted subs. Cheers, cheers. It's quite generous of you. So, community gardens. Now, I don't want to say this with any authority because there has been a lot of changes to the unstable branch and I'm not exactly sure what's true anymore, and some of you might know better than I. But last I checked, the rules of farming have fundamentally changed from the previous build. In the previous build, plants could be basically planted anywhere. They didn't need sunlight. They didn't have growing seasons. And now, if I'm not mistaken, they have to be on the ground floor. They have to be exposed to sunlight. And they do have growing seasons. Is that still the case? That I cannot plant on second floor? Because obviously, this flat roof would be ideal for a community garden. But I am not sure. Unstable is unstable. And things keep changing with it. And it's hard to keep up because the patch notes is like 40 pages long. That's not even really much of an exaggeration, to be honest. And cheers. And not that obvious. Thank you for the sub, too. So it looks to me like you guys want me to start a community garden. So to that end, let's change the book I'm reading. Do I have the correct books that I need? I like how I'm looking at like the stream right now. Yeah, we have farming 1. Okay, so let's pivot to farming 1. If you did not change the sandbox settings, then ground floor is only available. Got it. I was pretty certain that that was the case. So it's good to know my knowledge is not outdated already. All right. So some choices about gardening. Let me resolve that poll. There is a few different areas that I could do. Now, most conveniently would be adjacent to the base so that I could see the garden. There's, of course, the tennis courts over there that are mostly fenced in, which wouldn't be too bad. And then in terms of the garden area, the easiest would be to fence off one of the corners of these buildings. So this eastern corner or the northern corner and farm there. So the question I have for you guys, a follow-up question, where to plant a garden? East corner, north corner, tennis courts. The other thing is if it doesn't necessarily require... So, my other thinking is to radically redesign the base here, knocking out some roof to open up one of these rooms and be able to plant it inside, which stops being inside. Meaning, like, knocking out maybe the saunas and locker rooms and planting the farm here. Because I'll be next to a infinite water source, and if I get rid of the roof up top, it has sunlight. I don't know if that works, but, like, we could always experiment and try. So, next to the pool. So, 4 very reasonable choices, I'd like to think. I'm not 100% sure about the mechanics of choice number 4, but like I'm happy to experiment and see if we can make that happen. Now, other things. 1, shouldn't I have a needle on me at all times? I probably should. So I'm going to stick my needle in the medical bag. And then what I wanted to do is a quick assessment of maybe while I read, a quick assessment of the materials I need. Now, I know I have a lot of seeds, so that isn't much of an issue. But not a lot of seeds have growing seasons in summer. So that might subsequently be an issue. But I do have a lot of seed bags. And I don't think I have, like, shovels or spray cans and things. So I might need to go scavenge for other materials needed for gardening. Because I don't believe I have what I need. But that's cool. And it looks like next to the pool is overwhelmingly what you guys want. Got it. So, I guess my priority is going to be something like scavenge for gardening tools and start a community garden. I have a magazine for gardening as well. Yeah, I have read most of the magazines. So, in terms of what I've read... For agriculture, best month for, so it's right now it's August. So broadleaf plantain, cabbages. Oh no, that's a poor month. Best month. Let me, April, May, June, April, May. We could try things that do July. Oh, that's weird. Planting season July, poor month. July. Never mind. Sorry, jalapenos. Planting season. So leeks can be August. Lemongrass. Rosemary. That's not a lot of edible stuff. Spinach is a poor month for July, but it can be. Or August, rather. Same with sugar beets. Man, there's not a lot. Wild garlic can be August. So yeah, there's like a pretty limited list of things. Now this isn't all the seeds that are potentially available to us. There is more seeds out there, of course, that we just haven't interacted with. And then in terms of magazines, we have, I believe, the recipes for a lot of the curatives. So if we go to agriculture here, let's see, mildew. Yes, we know mildew cure. That's cow's milk and a gardening can. We have flies cure from chewing tobacco, cigarettes, or loose tobacco. So, yeah, we definitely have a lot of the requisite recipes known. We just need to get on it. I thought I had a shovel. I mean, in my tracker, it says that I've picked one up. Maybe I used it till it broke. That's not really having a shovel, then. Tool. Yeah, I really don't see a shovel in this list. Walking around. Yeah, okay. So, we're definitely going to need some tools. Got it. It's back at the first gathering spot? Ah, is that the case? That's probably farther than I would wish to search. Current weight is 82 and dropping. I know I am hungry. Let's eat a quarter of a box of cereal. So around me, directly around me, there is the hardware store that might have shovels and the like. Trowels, watering cans, etc., etc. And maybe that's what we do tomorrow morning in order to get the missing tools. Worst case scenario, we can drive to the original collection spot, the general store that's up the road. There's actually really not a reason to do it. I was just hoping to source the materials more around my immediate neighborhood, because then it also gives me a better lay of the land and potentially loot opportunities, because returning to where we've already been doesn't give us new loot. So perhaps we do something like that. Let's get sleeping, and we'll have a big day tomorrow. There are some stores out and about, like further away from where we live, that might have gardening areas. There is a gardening store and a shopping plaza to the west as well. So I think what I'll do is I'll first check out the hardware store, and then after the hardware store, I'll go and investigate the gardening store if the hardware store doesn't yield what we need. So, in order to drive there, the straight path would just be going on the southeast road. Maybe that's the path I take. I think we're going to run into more zombies that way, but I might as well be clearing out the zombies as I work, I think. Because ultimately, the end goal is where we will have made the neighborhood a little bit more safe, too. At some point, I might want to tow broken down vehicles off the road and repair my vehicle, stuff like that. But that can always come later. Now, the other thing. When do we lose power? Now, I know they've changed the Postal Service buildings. The Postal Service buildings used to be a really good place for books and magazines, and that's really not so much the case anymore. But we can also, if it's on the way, we... Oh, a masonry trowel. If it's on the way, we could certainly investigate that as well. As long as we don't have to detour for it. And since it's right here, it's reasonable to do. So I'll make a mental note of that for later on. Oh, and our canteens are dry. We've got a lot of vehicles here. We've got, this van looks in pretty good condition. And this right here is a hardware store. I'm just trying to drive nice and slow. But I think what I'm going to do is park right here and investigate whether these cars can be swapped to. I've done a lot of damage to my own vehicle. I'm ashamed to say. Definitely hit my fair share of stuff. So being able to swap to a... Oh, wow, this thing looks mint. With my luck, it's going to have a car alarm, isn't it? Nope. But no key as far as I could tell. And this one's pretty mint too. I don't think I'm used to seeing the models with the side windows. Cigarette pack. I'll take this for farming. Because you never know. Once I get my mechanics slightly higher level, we can always come back and hotwire these vehicles. I guess more cigarettes. And with Lightfoot leveling up, someone's around. Yep. I saw him. I was just hoping to get the vehicle overlay menu. Oh, so this looks prettier than it really is. It's got, some engine damage and wheel damage and things like that. It's far less, it's nasty on the inside. Oh, I forgot my fire axe, putting that away. That thing's heavy. Need to ditch that. Yeah, it's So some of the stuff that are beat up are like the seats, which really don't matter at all. But, wow, there's a lot of doors. Well, I guess it's 5-door, rear and the others. But the really important ones would be the engine loudness and quality are, like, not amazing. It's not to say that I wouldn't want the vehicle, but it just, I thought it was going to be in better shape. This one is got a loud engine. It's in decent condition. It's in better condition than the other one, but the tires here are just busted to hell. One of the suspensions is busted. But its trunk is probably going to be amazing. Its trunk probably holds a lot of stuff. Come on, trunk. Let me click. 118? Yeah, the trunk is awesome. But unfortunately, I can't move into any of them, so it's a little moot. Ooh, a radio. Did I? I know I was looking for a radio before. I don't know if I ever ended up finding one in my base, so I'll take this one. Program that for the emergency channels. Darkest bathroom ever. And if I ever want to grind my metalwork, this laundromat is going to give me a hell of a lot of experience. So, light-footed and sneaking level 1. Nice. I'm going to unencumber myself and get ready for the fight. Ooh, one shot. We don't see that very often, especially not with crowbars. Yeah, better condition, but very loud. I'm not really sure how the game mechanics behind loud vehicles work anymore. I know that some zombies, of course, have, like, the particularly keen hearing. And that plays a big role when you're doing weapon attacks, because some of your weapon attacks make a lot more noise than your other weapon attacks. I kind of wish you could audibly hear the difference, though. That's something that I would I hope to have offered as a feature in the future for Zomboid, because it'd be great to actually hear those loud attacks. But the TLDR is a small percentage of the zombies have essentially keen hearing. Oh, God, are you kidding? Well, whether they have keen hearing or not, everyone's going to hear that. So, let's drive away from there for a bit. But back to what I was saying. So, a certain percentage of the zombies have particularly keen hearing, and then a certain percent of your weapon attacks make a particularly loud amount of noise, and then mixing those two features means that zombies are going to be drawn to you from way farther of a distance than normal as a result of those two mechanics at play. But I'm not really sure how loud engine noises are comparative to loud weapon noises. At this point, I think what I'm going to do is travel down to the garden store, because that hardware store is going to be crawling with zombies until they disperse. Because we triggered that house alarm. Yeah, at least it didn't trigger a car alarm, I guess. I mean, you know. I don't know if what I did was all that much better, but different. Oh boy, it looks like this is the trail. This is the train attracted to the hardware, the post office alarm. And I don't really want a train of zombies coming on me, so I think what I'll do is I'll detour to the garden store. You can reduce car noise with a muffler, yeah. High performance, low volume mufflers will help. I don't know if it's really going to make a sizable difference if you have a really loud vehicle, though. And then, on top of that, if you take Speed Demon, the fast driving perk, with unless they changed it in this current unstable version, but at least in last version, if you had that perk and you went in reverse, your car was like extra loud in reverse. it was unexpectedly loud. So a loud car in reverse made a hell of a lot of noise. So here are the zombies training to the mail office. What's crazy is, like, I think they're being attracted, but, like, I don't in any way hear the post office alarm. Like, these zombies have, like, superhuman hearing when it comes to building alarms or something. I was sort of cautiously making my way here, but I think a lot of combat is rather unavoidable at this point. Sending off house alarms, like, vaguely where you live sucks. Wow. Hitbox, please. That was annoying. I'm stomping them on through the fence. Granted, just a shins, it's not doing much. Yep, and I just got that bug again. For whatever reason, when zombies convert into crawlers, my game hiccups hard. Don't know why that is, just is. But it's really easy to get bit when you have a hard hiccup like that. That's kind of a lot of zombies. I don't see any on my van, so I do have an escape path if I need it. Plus, worst case scenario, I could just double back all the way to the community center and turtle up. I'd rather not attract them there, but if I need to. Oh, come on. I hate when that happens. Sometimes when they flop over like that, it, like, doesn't let you hit them. Did it? No, I properly pushed her off. My clothing did nothing. Or rather, I'm unfazed. I thought I got the push in time, so I'm glad to see I did. I should learn my lesson and, like, not mess with them when they're, like, on the fence like this. But it also, like, I kind of like having a boundary between me and them. It's, high risk, high reward. Alright, lungs are burning. But there's only maybe like 3 left, 4 left. Maybe more than 4. But they're going down quick enough at least. Come on, don't swing and hit nothing. Definitely gonna need a breather soon. I'm surprised these zombies up here have not spotted me yet. Okay. It's not the room I wanted to be in, but it'll have to do for now. It's funny to hear, like, a zombie snore. Or whatever noise that is. Sounds like snoring to me. Come on, I know you're in here. Well, apparently you weren't. Where is that snoring? For real. There's so much snoring going on right now. Wait, they have 2 TV remotes? Where is their TV? They don't even have a shelf for a TV. Interesting. Alright, I'm not really all that rested. And, like, there's... Oh, 3 TV remotes? What is going on in here? Like, someone's senile. Keeps buying TV remotes for the TV they don't own. So let's sit on the chair and rest a minute while reading up on better gardening. Hey, Daedora, thank you for the resub. So in terms of the shopping plaza, we are... Where are we exactly? I don't even... Oh, I know where I am. Yeah, we're like 2 blocks from the shopping plaza that has the gardening store. We're not really all that close, to be honest. And unfortunately, this house had, like, no food to speak of. I was sort of hoping to scavenge some up. He was sleeping. Key ring. Oh, he's got, Chevy Dart key. Also, you can shorten it to... Maybe it's that dart right there in that driveway? Chevy Dart? Or, if you want to portmanteau that, a shark key? Mm-hmm. We stole his shark key. Oh, these zombies were oblivious. I wasn't even really trying to sneak. What is in the satchel? Sheet of paper. Okay. Grab. And put it back. Unfortunate aim? I mean, I think the most unfortunate aim was the Nova. Imagine trying to sell the Nova in, like, Central and South America. So we named our car Can't Go. Would you like to buy it? No, I don't. So do we have this car key? Yes, we do. Not that these cars are, like, anything special. They're pretty trash. They have terrible storage. I am just going to leave the car in the ignition. Oh, it has gas. Well, there's that. I know I'm not heading in the direction of the garden store at the moment, but I was hoping to rummage some food because I'm getting hungry. So let's mark down that we have a gassed car. So, gas car was a blue wheel. I wanted it to be a green steering wheel, but I don't have green markers yet. Or green pen. Yeah, a key to a Chevy Dart without a Chevy Dart in the driveway, and TV remotes to a TV that does not exist. It was a pretty sus house, if you ask me. Don't know what was going on in there, but it was pretty strange. All right, let's hope these people actually have some food. Stale radish and a rotten pork chop. I mean, here's the thing: is like we still have power. So all this rotten food that are in the freezers is just like, it's been frozen for too long, I guess. No, don't fill the bowl. You know, I'll take Winnie the Pooh. I might be in a bad enough mood at some time to want Winnie the Pooh. I'm just taking anything that could be of use. Jar of leeks. Alright, what else we got in here? Laundry room. I was thinking to myself, like, now that I have needles and thread, I'm going to find needle and thread everywhere, but that really hasn't been the case. Check the other... Stupid. I'm, like, panning over to the other shelf, and the game's like, no, you don't get to look in that one. So, I really, truthfully, have not been working on my, my goal, I know. Had it all planned out in my head. And then, one little building alarm, and I'm like, time to go wander around the neighborhood and get nothing done today. Eventually, after a few days, the horde there will disperse, and it will become safer to be there. But, I ought to wait until that is the case. So let's get back to our red van, drop off some of the junk I got, and then keep fighting our way towards the garden store. And next to the garden store is also a Spiffos, a Gigamart, a burger store, a liquor store, a lamp store, another tool store, a sewing store, a auto shop, a clothing store, and a chicken place, a chicken restaurant. So, like, there's a lot of points of interest that direction, which is why clearing that direction could be really handy, because I'll gain access to a whole lot of potential loot. Marking down the houses I cleared. So, it was this one? I didn't actually check the garage, and this one. Actually, let's shut this off. Can I still try to deconstruct the roof? Yeah, I can once I get home. Provided, like, I'm not too tight or anything like that. My nimble has not been leveling up all that much. I don't find myself doing a lot of fighting in the nimble stance. That's something I should work on doing more often. Well, with any luck, the alarm down at the post office has drawn some of the zombies that would have been here away, making it easier to loot this area, but we'll see in a minute. We might be getting a little far from the epicenter of that alarm. Are you faking? You're probably faking. Just by chance, I've just not caught the radio for power loss. Man, it's like 4... Oh, okay. It's more zombies than that. I was gonna say my level of panic wasn't justified, but no, here they come. My crowbar might be running a little low, too. After this fight, I'll check it. I may need to... I mean, I am potentially heading to a hardware store, but I may need to bag an alternative. Yeah, it's not gonna break anytime soon, but it'll probably break in the next 2 days, 3 days, something like that. Depending on how much combat I find myself in. And unfortunately, I'm getting drowsy and winded. And that combination is rather dangerous to have both. So what I could do, having cleared some of the way up there, is soon turn around and just do some of the changes to the internal structure of the community center to ready it for an indoor or a pseudo-indoor farm. So one of the reasons why historically you would want to farm in the second story or above is when zombies walk on your crops, they can trample your crops and kill your crops. This is not true for players. The idea is that players don't just like stomp on your own crops, but zombies know no different. So the meta up until this update was to farm on roofs and the like to keep your crops safe from zombie trampling. But now that you can't farm on roofs and the like, which honestly, I am not sure I agree with that rule. Because like, rooftop gardens aren't a new concept. They're not even that hard to do. Especially on like flat top roofs like the ones we have here. But regardless, with the game mechanic changes, that's no longer possible. Which makes farming inside fenced off areas where it's not going to get a lot of foot traffic more worthwhile. Also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe growing times are longer now for farming, which means that there's an even greater chance for your crops getting trampled or diseases to set in, etc., etc. Alright, my character is reaching their exertion breaking point. I don't really want to sacrifice the vehicle, but I hear more and more are getting aggroed. I think we're up to 4 more. So let's go ahead and backtrack, use some fences, break line of sight, and do a quick rest. I don't want to jump into the van and get lacerated through the window or whatever. To do rooftop gardens, they would require full-size planters. Yeah, true, but like building, I mean, your character builds with 2x4s or with planks of wood pretty regularly. So the idea that you would build planters is not even all that far-fetched. I mean, the compost box that we build is basically just a planter, right? It's a box where we dump rotten food. So, like, why not just let us build carpentry planters and farm on the roof? Even if it was smaller scale, I think it would it'd make a lot of sense. Just my 2 cents. I think the restrictions, when games get unnecessarily restrictive, especially to the point where it's like less realistic, I don't think it's really doing the game justice. But yeah, if it did require actual planners, I think that would be a really adequate balance, because building a large-scale farm when all of the crops require planners would be an endeavor. But it would be a very smart thing to do in an urban environment, or in an environment where you couldn't keep ground crops safe. So I don't think it's unreasonable at all. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Brandenburg Shelter, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow zombie survivors.